I love a vegan sausage roll, but veggie sausages and beanbags could soon disappear from our shelves and be replaced by vegan tubes, veggie discs, and even slabs instead of steaks.
Yeah, not quite so sexy, is it, for you vegans, when you can't use our meat-eating language? It follows a proposed EU ban on using meat-related words to describe their plant-based alternatives. This is a necessary step, yes. Or will it punish small businesses? I doubt it. Joining us to debate all this is chef Ryan Simpson-Trotman. Fine name for a meat eater, if you don't mind me saying, who says it's misleading to call something a burger or a sausage if it doesn't contain meat. We're also joined by the authors of vegan recipe book Bosh, Ian Theasby and Henry Firth, who say this is the meat industry going too far. So, OK, let's start with the two vegans. You look surprisingly healthy for vegans. Normally have a very pallid glow. In France, they have already done this. It's illegal. You can't, if you're a vegan marketing company trying to sell your products, you can't use meat language, and the argument goes, as I've put it...
language? What's meat language?
I call it gastronomic appropriation, where basically you want your cake and eat it. You want your kale cake and eat it, because actually you want to have all the language to sell the stuff, which people like, burgers, sausage and so on, but you don't want to have any of the meat actually in the product. And I have sympathy with that. If you want to be vegans, I've got no problem. Get on with it.
You do have a problem.
No, I have a problem with it.
You're waging a war against vegans.
I have a problem with vegans running into steakhouses and screaming at people and paying noises of cows dying, right? Definitely. So I have a problem with radical veganism, really. Not with people who just want to have a vegan diet. But I do have a problem with the appropriation of the language. Why do you think that is unfair?
Well, I don't think it's appropriation. So we have always been meat eaters for our entire lives until 4 years ago. And 20 years ago, when we were at school, we were having veggie sausages. They've always been veggie sausages. And actually, if you think about it, sausage is a shape. It's a way of making something that's filled with protein. It's not, though.
If you actually look in the dictionary, sausage is a meat-based product,
Yes,
as is a burger. So actually, you can't rewrite definitions. I mean, this is what there's always been.
What we do all the time.
That's what language is, and it comes from the Italian, which is used to talk about the curing process. I think it's salsicon. That's where the word actually comes from. So it is just about curing products and the flavours that's in there.
Why can't you have your own words? I like tubes and discs and slabs. You know why? Nobody would buy your stuff anymore.
I think
nobody would want to go, hey, let's have a barbie at the weekend and chuck some discs and tubes and slabs on.
I don't mind. I think slab is all right. I do have a problem with tubes and discs.
Yeah, tubes isn't so great.
No,
you'd like a nice slab, would you?
You make a veggie or a vegan chorizo,
yeah, we certainly do.
So that would be a problem,
yeah, we
it?
use vegetarian sausages to make that vegan chorizo, which is the point. You know, you walk into a supermarket and have them for the past 20 years, and you've seen vegetarian sausages, not vegetarian tubes. So I find, changing it now would just be ridiculous. If anything, it would cause more confusion to the consumer.
And the
all right, can we talk to a meat eater,
Sorry,
please?
can I just finish? For me, as a vegetarian, the whole point is you want the substitute. So you want to know, what is this the substitute for? And that's the trouble with taking away those words, right?
Well, I disagree, actually.
You're a top chef and you're owner of a fine restaurant, Allwell's near Henley-on-Thames.
Yeah.
What do you think of this?
Well, I disagree. I don't think you want a substitute. I believe you should celebrate the vegetable for what it actually is. So let's educate the consumer what a kohlrabi is.
Are you meat-splaining to a vegetarian?
No, I actually love vegetarian food as well as vegan food. I'm a meat eater, but I don't think you should confuse the consumers by saying it's a burger, it's a sausage, it's a chicken nugget. Why?
And by the way, we all eat
You're not saying
vegan.
it's a chicken nugget. You're saying it's a veggie nugget, aren't you?
I'm going to try and get a word in edgeways here.
Oh, that would be a shame.
Contrary to most of these shows these days, as people have picked up on. Susanna always interrupting. But the point is, we all like vegetarian and vegan food. I eat vegetables all the time. It's not about the food itself. It's about the more radical end of this vegan market, which has become very aggressive in the last year. It's become a case where they want to basically terrorise meat eaters into thinking they're bad people. You know, they're at fault, and somehow vegan is the pure way forward. I always point out, all the vegans I know eat. Do you eat almonds and stuff like that? Almond milk? Right. And, you know,
to be honest, if I was
billions of bees and insects get murdered, so you can eat almonds. No one cares about the little guys on the vegan side.
I just think it's so confusing. That's the thing for me. It's very, very confusing when you see something that's called something that isn't that product, you know. And I think you guys actually do... I checked out your website, you do the fish fingers.
Right.
Vegan it's not fish.
No, it's tofu.
But it should be...
And you call them fish fingers?
Yeah.
We call them tofish.
Whoa, wait a minute.
It should be crispy
You call
tofu.
them tofish fingers?
Tofish fingers or fish fingers.
But they're not fish.
No, but they are like fish fingers.
So you're actually using fish to sell your fish fingers? fingers and they're not fish.
Because they taste like fish fingers. So if you think about...
no. What you mean is they sound like fish fingers. Actually, your business is predicated on deliberately confusing people.
No, it's
you want people. You want people to go into... Is this KFC? What is it?
I want a fish finger,
We've got all these fake burgers here, right?
We're going to get you round for dinner, and we're going to give you our fish fingers.
You're not going to get me round for dinner with fake fish fingers.
If you go to a wedding and you have a falafel, you know exactly what you're getting. Yeah. You're getting your chickpea, you're getting your spinach, it's falafel, it's vegetarian.
But if you put meat in that falafel, we would be happy with that. We wouldn't eat it, we'd want you to tell us, but it would be your choice.
If it was a let's say, for instance, it was a person that didn't eat pork, and it was pork in the falafel, and they ate the falafel, it's not good, is it? So it's not pretending something it's not.
We're not here telling you not to do that to falafels. If you want to do that, you can do that. But what we are saying is they're veggie sausages. They've always been veggie sausages. You made a really interesting point, Piers, about the militant vegans and the non-militant vegans. And I think a militant anything on any side is annoying.
I totally agree with you.
We've got friends on both sides, but what you can't get away from is the message, which is that David Attenborough said it, the UN said it, we all need to reduce our meat and dairy. And the people, 90% of the people who are buying these alternative meats are not vegans. 90% of them are flexitarians. The Beyond Meat, 90% of sales of that are flexitarians.
I think you've hit on a good point, actually, which is this whole... We've had this debate a lot this year because I think there's a lot of cynicism when I see KFC doing their, vegan... But they're just trying to cash in and make money like Greggs did with their vegan sausage rolls.
They want to serve their vegan customers.
It's fine, but it's all nonsense. They're not really because they want to sell vegan products. They want to cash in on it, which is fine. It's the new craze. Actually, this conversation's been a good one because you're not coming in here screaming at me about eating meat, right? I don't like being shamed for doing something that the planet Earth has done for thousands of years. Perfectly natural thing to eat meat. I think we could all eat a bit less meat.
Indeed.
I occasionally eat fish and occasionally eat vegetable dishes. I mean, it's not like I'm allergic to them. I love vegetables.
But I don't like
having it screamed at me.
Of course, yeah.
Somehow I'm a meat terrorist.
No, yeah.
I think you have to eat more vegetables, and I think it's great to do that. And obviously all the statistics, etc. But put out there that it's hen of the woods. Do you know what hen of the woods mushroom is?
No.
It's one of the most fantastic mushrooms you can ever eat. It's full of umami. It tastes just like meat. We take it, we whole roast it, and we serve a slice of that as a vegetarian, as a vegan option, and it's absolutely delicious.
What's it called? Hen
of the woods.
Is it pretending to be a hen?
It tastes like chicken.
Hang on a moment, weren't you saying we weren't supposed to be appropriating these terms?
It's called mayaki. They call it hen of the woods, mayaki. But the thing is we don't put that on the menu and call it, vegan steak.
Right.
No. But mushroom.
Totally
it's not a
agree.
steak. It's,
You leave our language alone, do your thing, and people will come to it if they like it, and they won't if they don't.
Leave our sausages alone, and we're definitely getting
They're not your sausages.
They are.
They're my sausages.
They're veggie sausages.
These are not real burgers. These are fake burgers.
They're vegan
Horrible,
burgers.
They stink as well.
They're
Anyway.
lovely. You said you didn't have a problem with vegan food, and yet you took a bite of a vegan sausage
I have a
roll
real
and then
problem
threw
with
up in a bin.
all these fast food firms now doing their vegan KFC, vegan Big Mac. Do me a favour.
Oh, come on, Piers.
Nobody goes to these places for feeling virtuous and healthy or
do.
worrying about animals, right? I'm going to go and have a Big Mac later on, and I will thoroughly enjoy
I'm gonna have
the
a vegan
slathering
sausage roll.
feeling as it goes down my gullet.
I'm going to have
That's the end of it. And there's nothing any of you can do about it.
I'm gonna have
Gentlemen,
veggie
bring it to me.
dip.
Nice to meet some civilised vegans. Thank you. You like the kind of vegans I could almost hang out with. I say almost because I can't eat the food. Not all the time. No. If you sipped a nice little sizzling steak in there with a bit of vegan food around it.
If he didn't know you were vegan and you served him an alternative meal, he wouldn't know
I
the
would.
difference.
No.
Would not know the difference.
I would. I absolutely would.
No, you wouldn't.
Great to see you.
Test it.
Ryan, I will come down and try your fare. I'll have a big sizzling steak, please.
Certainly.
A 36-pounder. But you know what? The next day I may have some gruel, just to make you all feel better. Some tasteless gruel.
Bosch
Gentlemen.
don't do tasteless gruel. I can assure you of that.
Good to see you. As I say, nice to meet civilised vegans. I didn't know you existed.